We were 20 minutes into a session about her team's performance when my client suddenly said, I think the real issue is that I don't even know if I want this job anymore. That's a pretty significant fork in the road. She came in wanting to talk about team dynamics. Now she's questioning her entire career. What do you do with that? That's what this video is about. Direction shifts happen. Clients sometimes change course mid-session, and honestly, this is completely normal. It often signals something significant is emerging, something that might matter more than what they originally brought. Your role isn't to prevent these shifts. It's to make them conscious and intentional rather than accidental. You don't control the direction. That belongs to your client. But you do steward the awareness of when direction is changing. That's partnership in motion. Here's how ICF frames this. The marker says, continues coaching in the direction of the client's desired outcome unless the client indicates otherwise. Simple, clear, and deeply practical. This is the standard you're being assessed against. Your default behavior is staying on course toward what they said they wanted. But, and this is important, you remain alert for signals that they want to go somewhere else. The client gets to change direction. Your job is making sure it happens with awareness, not by accident. So what's your baseline? Continue toward what the client said they wanted at the start of the session. Stay oriented to their stated outcome. Keep it in view until something signals a change. This isn't about being rigid. It's about honoring their intention. They told you where they wanted to go. You're following their lead while maintaining clarity about where you're both headed together. Don't drift without awareness. That's the key phrase. You can absolutely explore, but you're conscious of the original destination even as you wander. How do you know when a shift is happening? Sometimes a new concern emerges, something different, unrelated, that feels more urgent or important than the original topic. Sometimes you notice their energy moving, their attention, their emotional intensity. It's shifting away from the stated outcome towards something else. Sometimes they make it explicit. Actually, the real issue is, or I just realized what's really going on here. And sometimes new information surfaces that fundamentally changes the landscape. What they want to explore has shifted because the context has shifted. Any of these can signal a fork in the road. When you notice a shift, name it explicitly. You said that in the beginning. This was your goal, and this is what you wanted to focus on. It sounds like you're shifting to something else. Would you like to continue to go in that direction? Or do we need to pull back to this other thing? You see what you're doing there? You're naming what you notice without judgment. You're offering the choice, and then you trust their answer. Whatever they choose is the right direction for this moment. The client decides, you make the decision conscious. 3 mistakes I see coaches make. First, ignoring the shift entirely. Plowing ahead with the original agenda even when the client's attention and energy have clearly moved elsewhere. You're coaching to an empty chair. Second, drifting without awareness. You follow the client into new territory, but you never acknowledge the direction change or check if it's intentional. You both end up somewhere neither of you planned. Third, making the client feel wrong for shifting. Responding with frustration, rigidity, or subtle signals that changing course is problematic. The correction is simple. Navigate shifts with intentionality. Notice, name, invite choice, honor their decision. Here's the fundamental truth. The client owns the agenda. 100%. They have every right to shift, pivot, or completely redirect at any point. This is their coaching session, their agenda, their choice. If they change their mind and decide part of the way through, yeah, I thought I needed to go west, but I'm actually figuring out that I need to go south, It's fine to turn and go south with the client's consent and with their decision, because they own the agenda of the coaching conversation. The key word there is consent, conscious, aware, chosen. You don't control the direction. You make the direction conscious so they can lead intentionally. So here's what to carry forward. Your default is continuing toward their stated outcome until they indicate otherwise. That's your baseline. When direction shifts, and it will name it explicitly and invite conscious choice about where to go next. Remember, the agenda belongs entirely to them. Your role is bringing awareness to direction so they can lead intentionally. Sometimes it's not just the session direction that needs adjusting, it's the entire coaching approach. The 2025 competencies explicitly address this. That's where we're headed next.